Well, hello, listeners, and of course, those of you who are watching live. I'm excited because it's spring, and you know what happens? We all tackle those closets, which is why I wanted to bring on Laverne Franklin Jones, and she is a style coach and a wardrobe stylist. She's going to help us just trying to get through some of the things in the closet that we can get rid of, but also maybe help us better organize it. So, Laverne, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
So before we get started in all the strategies that we need to,
Mhm.
really take on for the spring, what made you decide to become a style coach and a wardrobe stylist?
Good question. Um, well, it came out of my desire really to work with women to show them how to celebrate their beauty and show up and stand out no matter what they're doing. I style women so that they can make a statement without saying a word. I really want women to have a wardrobe that's created that reflects their personality and boosts their confidence, whether they're inside or outside the workplace. And it kind of started at least 15 years ago. I was selling jewelry and doing home shows, selling jewelry and things like that. And my clients started coming to me for more. They wanted fashion tips and about accessorizing and how to put outfits together and different things. So I eventually evolved into, I said, you know what? I want to offer more than jewelry and clothing. I wanted to offer my services. And that's kind of how I started doing things through workshops. And um, I eventually created what I call my signature service, which is like my closet refresh and wardrobe styling, just so that women can put their whole package together of branding themselves so that they do stand out. Because one of the things that I do want to say is that I believe that what you wear matters, and that every woman, she has a presence about herself, and that can be both empowering and impactful, whether it's how others see her or how she sees herself. Both of those are very important, and how we dress really does impact that. So I like to work with women so they can discover that for themselves and really see who they are.
And you're so right, Laverne, because recently, as I shared, I've been going through some changes with my closet because it's size changes.
Hmm.
And for the first time, I stepped out and I bought something that I've always wanted to wear, but I was
Hmm.
thinking it wasn't practical. And basically, the coat, my outer coat and my pants matched. And
Hmm.
I just felt so confident walking down the street because just feeling so
Yeah.
fashionable. And even somebody yelled out, "Hey, you look really good." It just like, yeah, it made me feel so good. Because in the beginning, I would think that's not practical to get my pants and my coat to match. But I said, you know what? Moving forward, I really, like you said, I want to get things that not only just, build my confidence, but really just, have a statement, make a statement.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
my first question to you is, as we move into the spring or
Hmm.
really any season, are there things that we really should just kind of let go of when it comes to our wardrobe and our closet?
Well, it's important. Spring is a great time to reorganize your closet and things like that. But I also look at it as a time to rethink what's in your closet, because I think we typically tend to start with, okay, I'm going to get rid of the things that don't fit, I'm not wearing anymore, it's torn or worn out, those kind of things. But I think we should always go one step further and ask ourselves some really important questions, because our wardrobe should evolve as we evolve. So those things that have been in there for years, they may or may not need to stay. And when you're going through your closet and organizing, you should ask yourself questions. Ask yourself, for example, does this really fit my lifestyle right now? Do I really need the suits if I'm not going into the office? Do I need to have more um, dresses because I'm doing more events, going out with the girls or doing more things? What really fits my lifestyle? And what colors do I need? Is this really the right color for me? Is it something that I really kind of used to like to wear, but it really doesn't fit who I am now? Because I think that's one of the questions we don't typically ask ourselves is, does this fit who I am today? Or does it fit the woman that I was last year, before COVID, 10 years ago? Those kind of things. We really need to ask ourselves some really thoughtful questions as we're evaluating items in our wardrobe.
And I'm so glad you mentioned the suits because I think I had maybe about 4 or 5 suits. And of course, now I'm at a place where I don't need that look. But
Right.
somebody kept saying, Janet, you need to hold on to the suits. You need to hold on to the suits. And I'm thinking, but why? One, I
Mhm.
couldn't fit them, Laverne. But
Right.
also, that's just not the look that I want anymore. So I'm
Yeah.
glad you just really mentioned that, in addition to just really getting rid of things we don't fit, but also, is it really matching who we are now?
Yes.
So with that, so how do you, like, as a wardrobe stylist,
Mhm.
how do you approach the closet organizing? Because that's a question that I get all the time, but really from your perspective and
Mhm.
expertise, how should we approach organizing our closet?
I think it's unique to individuals because I tend to have my clients who, sometimes you think, okay, I'm going to have my spring clothes over here, my winter clothes over there, or I'm going to organize according to type. I put all my jackets over here, or my jeans over here, or organize according to colors. There's a variety of ways that my clients have expressed to me how they like to organize. But I really think that it is something that's custom to you because it really should reflect, in my mind, it should reflect how you look at your wardrobe in the morning. How is it going to make you more efficient so that you're not looking here, there, and everywhere for those items that you're going to want to wear and taking more time to get dressed than you really should? And so I look at it as, let's organize your closet according to how best suits you. And I think that's the biggest thing. But also, too, I also consider what tools are in my closet. So, for example, when I was organizing one of my closets a few years ago, I went ahead and bought some sweater organizers. And you know how we was like, oh, I want to have all these sweaters, and I'm like, you know what? If that doesn't fit in those organizers, then I don't need it. I was like, let me streamline by just starting with, let's just put it in the organizer and see how many fit in there. And other than that, no, we don't need those anymore. Or working with my shoes and doing things like shoe organizers. I have belt organizers. It's one of those things every Christmas when my husband asks me, what can he get me? I'm like, anything that will help me organize my closet.
I liked it, but I like what you said because one of the things I thought, and I was like, "Oh, this is really a one of those
Mhm.
aha moments is putting my jewelry in one of those little bags and putting it in a
Mhm.
closet." But
Mhm.
I realized after a few times that didn't work for me. And I actually now have them in little jewelry trays, and I have like a drawer in my dresser. And that works so
Okay.
much better because I can pull it out and I can kind of accessorize
Mhm.
a lot better because in those little, compartments, and they work for some people, but they weren't working for me. And I said, you know what?
Exactly.
This is not. So I'm glad you said that. So Laverne, as because you're a wife and also you have clients and you're involved in the community. How do you stay organized?
Well, one of them is with my closet, making sure that I periodically, not just on seasons, I
Hmm.
periodically organize my closet because I'm like, I need to make sure that I'm not, if I find myself constantly searching for things, then I
Hmm.
know there's some disorganization in there. And I make sure that it's like, okay, let's figure this out and I usually take everything out of the closet and then I only put back the things that I really need because sometimes it just gets filled with things and I just go back and look and I'm like, no, it's got way too much stuff that I don't need and it's hard to find what I really need. So trying to organize my closet is helpful for me. And it also flows into my other areas of life because I'm like, when I'm feeling disorganized, I'm like, okay, we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to go ahead and clean things up because that whole disorganization is messing with my mind.
I truly, truly understand. Well, Laverne, this has been a wonderful conversation. Of course, I could talk to you a lot more, and I will definitely have to bring you back as a guest. But how can people, listeners, and also those viewing reach out to you and connect with you?
The best way to reach me is my website, lavernefranklinjones.com. That's where you can learn more about my fashion styling services. But also, I love being on LinkedIn. I think that's where I meet a lot of my clients is through LinkedIn as well. And you can just search for Laverne Franklin Jones on there too.
And of course, I will have a direct link in the description below so you can connect with Laverne directly. Well, Laverne, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.